Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video, we are going to cover reported speech from the grammar section of your lesson 8 NIOS, case of suspicion. The final topic in this lesson, and we are going to see reported speech. The content also can be used by anybody who is willing to learn English grammar. And before going to the video, I would like you to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up if you like the content, and share it with your friends. So let's see what is reported speech or indirect speech. It means somebody tells something and person 1 is telling to person 2, and the third person, when he says the same thing or explains the same thing to another person, how he does that. So it has some rules to follow so that we convert it into reported speech. Okay. So basic rules that you have to keep in mind is changes in tense. So when the tense changes, consider it is present simple tense. So when it changes, it becomes past simple. So direct speech is I like pizza, and the reported speech becomes she said that she liked pizza. Okay, so the present simple is converted to past simple. Next one is present continuous, which gets converted to past continuous. Okay. So direct speech is I am studying. When it comes to reported speech or indirect speech, it becomes he or she said that he was studying. Okay, something was happening in the present before, now it has become past. Okay. Present perfect. When it is present perfect, it is getting converted to past perfect. That rule you have to keep in mind. So you have to check the statement like I have finished my homework, which is present perfect, and when the statement gets reported, it is said that they said that they had finished their homework. Before it was my and I. So when third person is saying and being reported, this statement is reported, it is like they said that they, I becomes they, and had finished, my becomes their. Okay, their homework. Past simple, and past simple gets converted to past perfect. Okay, let's see one example. Direct speech is I visited Paris. That is a speech. So it is, while reported speech becomes he said that he had visited Paris. So this I becomes he, and since it is past perfect, you have to use. So to know this, you have to know the basic tenses, how to write those sentences, which are the classification that you have to know. Now let's see next one, that is pronoun changes. So next rule is like whatever pronoun you're using gets converted to something else. Okay, I will help you is the direct speech. When it comes to reported speech, it becomes I gets converted to she. She said that she would help me. Okay, she said that she would help me. So person 1 is talking to person 2, where this person says I and you for the second person. When third person is reporting it, it will be like, or this first person is reporting it to a third person, he will say she said that she will or she would help me. Okay, so this is how it gets converted. The pronoun gets changed. I becomes she and you becomes me, like that. Now if you come to the time and place changes, let's see what happens. So if it is today, that when it is in reported speech, that today will become that day, tomorrow will become the next day, and yesterday will become the day before. Here will become there, and these are the things you have to keep in mind. These are the basic examples. Now if you see the example of this one, it will be like direct speech, I am going to the store. When it comes to reported, it can be he said that he was going to the store. I am becomes he was. Okay, going to the store. Next one is we will meet at 5 p.m. So when it gets converted to reported speech, it is she said that they would meet at 5 p.m. So we person 1 telling to person 2, and this person 1 is reporting it to third person, so it will be like they. That means the first person is telling to second person with somebody in mind. Okay, so when the second person reports it to somebody else, it will be converted like this. She said that they would meet at 5 p.m. Next one is, are you coming? So it's a question. So we will not simply write it as with question mark. It will be like, he asked if I was coming. Like that you have to convert accordingly what is the word. Okay. Here a question is being asked. That's why it is asked. At that time it was a sentence, basic sentence. So that is why it was said or told, like that. Next rule change is for questions. For yes or no questions, use if or whether. Okay, if the answer for that question is yes or no, convert that question in the if form. For example, like just now you have seen this example, are you coming? So either the answer is yes or no. In such case, it should be if has to be added. Okay, so next example is like, do you like coffee? The answer will be either yes or no. In that case, you can write, she asked if, that you becomes I like coffee. Okay, one is asking to two, and this two is telling to somebody else. Next one is WH questions. So we have in our grammar playlist this WH questions description. Please go and visit that video. That will be helpful to you. Now WH question, like where, what, all those things are involved in this one, and the direct speech will be like, where are you going? So the reported speech becomes, he asked. Since it is a question, it will be, he asked where I was going. So this is reported speech of your given statement when WH question is being asked. So these are the rules that you have to keep in mind. This comes with practice. Let's go to next. This we have already seen. When it comes to command or request, what you have to do, you have to use a to, and you have to use the verb for the command. For example, close the door. It is not a statement, it is an order that is being given. Okay, it is a command that is being given to somebody. So it will be like, she told me to close the door. Okay, if it is open the box, so it is again, open the box is again an order or a command. So it will be like, she told me to open the box. Okay, so that two word, and then use the verb. This that is being used in the sentence. Hope you understood what are the rules that you have to follow while converting a direct speech to indirect speech. Let's see the exercise question from the lesson, a case of suspicion, and solve it. Let's try to solve this question. The first question, that is, some of the sentence spoken by Dr. Benson and Evans is in direct speech. Okay, in the column A. So column A contains direct speech, and B are those sentences reported in indirect speech. So you have to match which one stands for which one. So first one is, this is Dr. Benson, he said. That means Dr. Benson is telling about himself. Yes, this is Dr. Benson. So now let's see how it will be in the reported speech. So Evans asked for a cigarette is not correct. He ordered Evans to put that watch into his pocket. That is also not correct. He introduced himself as Dr. Benson. That would be a matching thing, because what he said is introduced. The act of saying, when you meet one person for the first time, introducing. So he introduced himself as Dr. Benson. So that is the matching sentence. So, this will match with C. One for C. Are you going far? Asked the doctor. Doctor asks something, and that speech is reported here in the direct way. Let's see. Hope this doesn't match. Now see here, the doctor inquired whether he was going far. That would be a better matching sentence with two matches with E. I'm going all the way to Detroit, said the man. So if you see the F, it will be the the man declared that he was going all the way to Detroit. So that would be matching for third sentence. And see the words inquired, declared. These are the acts that happens when they are saying those speech. Okay, that is a good word for explaining. Next one is, could you give me a cigarette? Evans said. Here the first sentence is Evans asked for a cigarette. That would be matching, and it is fourth. Do you mind, mister, if I take another cigarette for later? That is, Evans wondered whether he could take another cigarette for later. That is matching with the fifth statement. Put that watch into my pocket, he said angrily. So which is left out. He ordered Evans to put his watch into his pocket. So he's getting angry and he's ordering. So sixth will be matching with B. Hope you understood. These are the direct speech and indirect speech which are matching with each other. Let's move on to the next exercise. Complete the sentence by selecting the appropriate reporting verb from the box below. These are the verbs, and you will have to put it into past tense form wherever necessary. So these words has to be converted to past tense and used in your sentences. Let's see how to do that. The criminal said, I have committed the murder. Okay, so the criminal, the word that we have to use here is admitted that he had committed the murder. Okay, second one is Asha said, oh, I have failed in maths. So she is not happy with that, or she's like sighing. We can see here. So what will be the exact word for this one? Let's see from the list. It can be regret. So she is feeling sad for her act of failing in the exam. So regret is matching here. Ravi's father said, I think you could seek your uncle's advice. So Ravi's father suggested. Okay, here the word suggested is there you can see 3. So the third is suggested. My brother said to me, I will give you a watch if you stand first in the class. So brother is saying this to him, and the word that would match here is promise. Promised he would give him a watch if I stood first in the class. Manik told Shruti, last month I attended the science conference in Hyderabad. So it is an information going from Manik to Shruti. So this is the matching word, informed. Hope you understood. These are the reporting verbs that are being used in the lesson. So here you can see, change the following sentences, questions into indirect speech. He said to me, are you going home? So it is a question. So it is being asked. So you can change it to, he asked me if I was going home. So the answer is yes or no. And you can apply that rule here. For yes and no, you have to say, he asked me if I was going home. He said, did you see my brother yesterday? So he is not saying, he is asking. So he asked whether you saw my brother yesterday. And instead of yesterday, the word is the previous day. So it would be, he asked if I saw his brother the previous day. That is the best matching sentence. He asked me which bus stops here. So would be, he asked me which bus stopped there. That can be a matching thing. Or you can say, he inquired to me which bus stops there, or which bus stopped there. Okay, next one is, my friend said, what is your brother doing these days? So it's a question, it's being asked. So we have to change it like, my friend asked me what my brother was doing those days. Question is, my brother said, does Ram know my address? So it is a question, not a statement. So it will be like, my brother asked whether Ram know his address or knew his address. Okay. Hope this was helpful to you to convert to indirect speech. Take more examples and solve it, then it will be easy for you to understand how that change comes. Let's move on to the next question, that is match the indirect speech with the reported speech. Okay, so let's see column 1, what is your name? So here on the right, if you see, he asked me what my name is. Where do you live? He asked me where I lived. The second is matching. Could you tell me your date of birth? He wondered if I could tell him my date of birth. So third is matching here. You can also find out the answers by the words used in the statements, like date of birth itself. So it will be easy for you to understand those. Otherwise, when you are directly converting, you have to know the rules. How long will you stay here? It is, he asked me how long I would stay there, or it would be there. Fourth, did you have a comfortable journey? He asked whether I had a comfortable journey. So it is matching with fifth. So hope this video was useful to you with reported speech. If you found the video useful, please don't forget to give it a like. That motivates to make similar videos in the future, and share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get the notifications on time. Thank you for watching.